So many of you know that Lisa Eldridge just came out with some eyeshadow palettes, and I immediately bought 2 of those, and then I'm still waiting on them to ship. And then I got an idea to kind of like do a sort of like Hannah Louise Poston style duping the vibes video where I just kind of dupe the palettes. So I got out all of my magnetic palettes that I have, which are Natasha, Denona, and Viseart, and I have a few more. And then I went and I started looking at her video that she put up with the swatches. I looked on her website, and then I looked on her Instagram, and then I started also seeing other people's videos coming in of their swatches. And I quickly realized that these shadows look different in every single video that I see. So I did my best here. But I did end up making these, and I was going to do kind of like the overhead style video, which I did set up my camera overhead, and I started kind of piecing together these palettes. But like, I'm not good at that, and my lighting was off. It was in the evening, and I do have a ring light and then 2 side lights, but there were like shadows. I couldn't get the lighting correct, and so it was a mess. I also had like a ton of dead spots of like where I'm just like searching for different palettes. So instead of like searching in those palettes like under the camera, I found that I was like just holding it like this, looking at stuff, and then it wasn't even in the camera. It was an absolute mess. So if you are curious about what shadows I use to create these, the majority of them are Natasha, Denona, or Viseart, and I will have those shades all listed in the description box for you, and I might also have it here on the screen if I decide to edit a little extra like that. And I feel like I got really similar looks to hers. I also want to point out that while we're like looking at the looks, because I'm getting ready to go in there, it was a little bit hard to follow her tutorials because she was just showing you what the palettes could do and not really doing tutorials. So there were times in a couple of the looks where she would like stop to explain something, or she then like cut in on the final palette to like show some of her lipsticks. And then so I'm like sitting there like just like waiting on her to finish the eye look. So I'm gonna try to edit it down to where it kind of makes sense, and I will put the pictures of her eye looks with mine. And then I also noticed that my eye looks ended up looking a little bit lighter once on the eye, and I have no way of knowing if the shadows I chose are actually that much lighter, or if it's just the fact that my lighting is different, or also I think a big portion of it is the fact that I don't have super deep set eyes that kind of give like a natural shadow there. I have to kind of create that. My eyes are a little bit puffy here, and then I have a little bit of lid that peeks out. So we have completely different eye shapes as well. And then I did notice when I was watching her videos closely that she would be like, I'm gonna pop on some mascara and I'll be right back. And when she came back, like it was darker. So I would follow her tutorial, and then she would come back, and then there would be things darker. And I don't think like that she planned that or was trying to be misleading in any way. But I also noticed that while she was doing this and she was going back and forth between shadows, she's kind of a tinkerer when it comes to makeup. So she might have got that mascara on and thought, you know what, this needs to be a little bit deeper. This needs to be smoked out more. You know, you kind of notice while she's doing the looks that she just naturally does that. And if you've ever seen any of her other makeup tutorials, she's one to kind of go back and forth and do things. It's not just like step 1, step 2, step 3. She really does go back and forth to try to find balance in the looks that she does. So I think that's kind of what happened there. Also, she had mentioned how long the video was going to be, and she does do 5 eyeshadow looks and talk about the palettes themselves and show you her lipsticks. So I'm also thinking that whoever edited the video took out a lot of that extra stuff. All right, so with all of that being said, let's just go ahead and jump into the eye looks.
Keeping track of is the weather, and there's no wind, no sun, nothing. 80 days and I'm not feeling better, but a sweet relief is finding me. There's no love under the portrait. free. Another night, I fall in your sight. Your new eyes cut sharp like a knife. Take a moment and look all around you. I don't want you caught off guard or alarmed when I come for you. I need you to know that I would never walk away. I know what you need, I would bleed for you, but you're taking somebody home. I know I need to move on, I need to be strong, but I don't wanna go alone, no, no, no. I don't wanna go alone. No, I don't wanna go alone. Bite some time and drink from my cup. You hypnotize me with the gift of your tongue. Take a moment and look all around you. I don't want you caught off guard or alarmed when I come for you. I want you to know that I would never walk away. I know what you need, I would bleed for you, but you're taking somebody home. I know I need to move on, I need to be strong, but I don't wanna go alone, no, no, no. I don't wanna go alone. No, I don't wanna go alone.
Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it helpful, and then maybe it inspired you to kind of dig into some of your shadows. I actually really enjoy watching Hannah Louise Poston's videos when she kind of does this sort of thing. And typically I do not deal with loose shadows at all. And the reason for that is just because every time in the past that I have bought like single shadows, I completely ignore them. I made the mistake probably, I don't know, it's probably been about, oh my gosh, 9 years ago now. I think my daughter might have been in kindergarten at the time. And I bought a bunch of magnetic palettes, and then it was like when the whole depotting craze was going on YouTube. I depotted like every single eyeshadow that I had that I possibly could. And then I put them into those magnetic palettes to never be looked at again. So I ended up tossing out most of those eyeshadows. I think at this point they're all gone. And even a lot of the palettes, because I had like the glue stuck from the back of the pans, then it got on the magnets up, and they were just a mess. So I didn't really like deal with them a whole lot since then. I just knew it wasn't for me. I'm more of like a small palette or single eyeshadow type of gal. But then recently, a lot of these makeup artistry brands that have now been marketed more towards everyday people, they have like that magnetic sort of thing going on, and same with the Lisa Eldridge palettes that just came out. So like these Natasha Denona palettes have the whole magnetic system going on. But I will also tell you, this whole exercise was perfect for me to kind of pull out those palettes and use some of those shadows, because these palettes cost a lot of money and I never use them. And I think I never use them because there are so many shades. I sometimes find it overwhelming, and I typically just prefer like quads or quints like from Dior, to where there's kind of like a story and you can kind of see what they're going for. And I just enjoy using those because I don't have to think as much about what I'm going to do. I sometimes find that these are just super, super overwhelming. And I think that this exercise might actually be great in the way of, I think especially this upcoming year when I'm planning on maybe doing more of a low buy, when maybe some of those Chanel and Dior quads and quints come out, I might actually just create them myself into a palette and use them and see what I think first, maybe before purchasing. So if you guys plan on doing something similar, let me know. I'd love to see what you come up with as far as what your eye sees. So if you plan on doing something similar, let me know. I'd love to see what you all come up with for your palettes, I guess, of, you know, duping them. I will say though, it's so crazy because the swatches, a lot of the times, because that's what I went off of, looked very similar to these, but then when I saw her holding the palettes in her hand, they look completely different than the palettes that I created. So I'm just so curious to see how close I got. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one.